Simone, just the overall feeling, you did it. Now it's all about taking that next step. What's going through your mind right
now? I don't know. I feel pretty good with training and how everything's going, and we head out to the ranch Sunday, so I'm feeling pretty good about that, and we'll just see how the camp goes.
I know that you always do well with the team atmosphere, so Lori and Aly both did so well at trials. I didn't know if that sort of going through the team is now and seeing how well that they do, that sort of lifts your expectations for yourself and for what everyone can do. Once you get into the team atmosphere and then get into the trio.
I guess it does, because being with a group that's so motivated individually, it motivates us together, and so I think it helps that we're all going through the exact same thing, so that's fun, and just being with everyone and everyone having to do our routines and everything, it helps, rather than in a setting like this where a lot of my team is just in summer training, so it's a little bit harder for me to focus because they're over there like playing around, but once we get into that atmosphere at the ranch, it's always good.
Is Aly going to be the team captain, do you think?
Most likely, yes, I think so, because she's done it before, and even if Marta were to pick someone else to be team captain, I know that we would still rely on Aly to take that role.
Is it a degree of comfort to have someone like her there with you?
Yes. Yes, it's a lot better.
Simone, how much does it help you that you've been at the top of your game, number one in the world for a while now? You know what to expect. You know you're a target on your back. You've been through this. You've won worlds 3 years in a row. How much does that help you going into this thing?
I don't think it helps me at all, because it's a whole new thing. It's literally the Olympics. It only happens every 4 years. I know that if 1 year you don't do it as good as you want, and if you make the team the next year, you can kind of redeem yourself. But this chance only comes every 4 years, so it's very different. But I'm excited, and I know that our team will do a very good job.
How much does all of your preparation on the national and world stage help for this sort of thing?
It helps a lot, because we know how the crowd reacts and how the judges are and how the format of the meets go. So that helps a lot, rather than Lori. She's never been to a world, so I don't think she's ever done the warm-up in the back and no warm-up in the front and go compete. So that'll be very different for her. But we'll all be there for her to guide her and to help her out. Just like my first year, whenever I didn't know how it went, Kyla helped me. So we're just really here together.
Simone, what's it like to come back to the area before you go to Rio, and you have, whether it's little girls around, parents, they have T-shirts. I mean, they want to support you so much. They kind of feel a local support. And on top of that, how much, when you go out, how much do you get recognized now? I mean, are you still able to kind of be yourself, or is it impossible?
Well, since I got back, I just had to come train, so I haven't really been out. But if I do, I really haven't been out at all, so, because we're only home for like 4 or 5 days till we leave again, and once we're at the ranch, we're just there, so no one really.
What about the local support?
Yeah, it's very nice. Once I walked into the gym, it was the day after, it was same. 5 of my teammates came up and congratulated, but no one made it a very big deal, which is good. And it was normal. Everything went back to normal.
Does that help where they kind of let you do your thing and not put pressure? Yeah.
Yes, it helps a lot.
You may. Go ahead.
Very. So you've been training very hard, clearly. What are some of the most important things to you to stay mentally and physically healthy?
I think it's just the training that we put in and the work that keeps us healthy mentally and physically. There's nothing else really we can do at this point to get more prepared. So what we're doing now is what we'll keep doing. So it's just training, really.
Maybe you haven't gotten you haven't been out, you haven't seen the people and all that, but on social media, people have been all over you, sending messages. Well, what's that feeling like? You got messages from JJ, actor, all that sort of
yes.
stuff.
It's very crazy. I still don't believe it, but then again, I try not to be on social media too much. Like, I'll look through my feed, but people who tweet me, it just comes so fast that I couldn't even read it the night we finished. So you just kind of scroll for a little bit, if you can. But other than that, everything comes so fast, and you just can't see it all.
So I think you mentioned, and I'm sure it was kind of in joking, but about J.J. Watt was the only recognizable face in Houston.
Yeah.
But obviously, Jose Altuve is a huge guy here, but he's small too. 5'5", 5'6". What do you think it says about him to have overcome his height? And obviously you're incredibly talented on the floor, but you're not the tallest person in the world. What do you say about people who can be that good athletically, but they don't let their height or their body size limit them at all?
Well, I think in every sport that you do, everyone puts requirements on it. Like for gymnastics, some people say, oh, I'm too tall, I can't do it. But it's just things that people put in your head. Like for us being 19, they're like, you're too old. I'm like, well, how do you know how my body feels? You guys just put a label and think everyone has to follow it. But really, it just depends on how you feel and what you're capable of. So I don't think there are really any limits.
With all eyes being on you with the media frenzy, how does it feel having the Biles pegged as your new?
Well, it's been 3 years now, so I don't even think about it anymore. I just kind of go and do it because it's normal for me. But I guess for gymnastics, it's very cool to have something named after me because it'll stay in the sport for forever. So that's pretty cool.
Simone, this is on the non-health part of it. When you get back and you're hopefully you're celebrating, what's going to be the celebration meal? What's the cheat meal for you? You're going to come back and just kind of splurge a little bit.
Well, probably pizza because that's like the fastest thing you can make or deliver. So like probably that or cake or ice cream. I'm not sure yet. We have to get there first.
Simone, you're going to be an idol to so many young women and girls out there and these girls here. What do you want to say to them from that standpoint now? How does it feel to be in that place?
Well, to me, I don't know, to me, I'm normal. I feel normal. So whenever people come up to me, like yesterday I went out and people were coming up to me and I was like, I'm normal. Like, I don't understand why people want to see me. I'm normal. But to you guys, it's something different. But for me, I'm normal. So I don't really think about it. I just kind of come in and do my gymnastics.
Well, it's been 5 days. 5 days since it happened. I saw a video, I think it was Aly that posted it, and everybody was celebrating in the locker room. Can you, that moment, can you kind of capture that in words, what that meant for you guys to celebrate with them?
No, I think our brains fell out of our heads for a second and we just went crazy for a little bit because there are no right words to describe how we felt. We were just so happy and emotional at the point and we were just like, we can let loose a little bit before we have to gear back up.
When you step onto the competition floor, what's your level of confidence going into this Olympics?
Well, I guess at this point we're all very confident in our routines because we've been doing them for the whole entire year. So you have to have that level of confidence, and since we've been doing them for a while, it just comes automatically. But then the thing that gets us sometimes is just nerves. But other than that, at this point, we're all very confident in all of our routines.
You said in San Jose that you felt like you were flying sometime when you were doing routines. What do you feel like when you're on beam? Is it like walking a tightrope, or what's sort of the feeling of being on balance beam?
It's like a floor, except it's just 4 inches wide. But it doesn't feel like a tightrope. We feel like there's enough room, except for sometimes if we fall, we're like, okay, maybe it's too skinny, and you just blame it on the beam. But other than that, it just feels like a floor.
Is the level of concentration pretty much the same for you on every sport? Is there an area where you have where you're always focused the same on every event, do you think?
Well, I guess it depends who you are, but for me, if I focus too much on bars or beam, I start to overthink things and not let them happen naturally. So sometimes you kind of have to stop thinking a little bit, whereas floor, like you have to think about your takeoff and your landings, but I guess it just depends who you are.
Simone, can you talk about what it means to compete, to be competing for your country?
Yes, it means the world to me, and it's very exciting, and we're all so honored because only 5 of us got picked, so it's very exciting, and we're all very just proud to represent.
Simone, can you talk about the expectations for you personally and for Team USA going into Rio?
Well, we know the expectations are high from everyone else, but we try not to let it get to us. But we also expect very good things for ourselves, but we haven't really said anything yet, but we all just know, like in the back of our head, what we expect of ourselves and of our team. So I know we'll be pushing each other whenever we get out to camp and whenever we head out to Rio. So.
Are there any events that you particularly want to focus on in your training in the next few weeks? Are there any areas you feel you've improved or that you want to improve on?
Well, just all around on every event, there's just something that we can all improve on.
When Gabby did it 4 years ago, what was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I was still very young. I don't know, I just thought it was cool that she won the Olympics. Never did I think that I would be heading out to an Olympic Games myself, so it's very exciting. But that day I was like, oh, that's so cool, she won the Olympics, like USA is at the top. But I didn't really think like, oh, that's gonna be me one day. I was just like, yeah, whatever, let's go back to training.
And now it's could be you. I mean,
Yes.
this is actually happening.
Yes, but I try not to think about it because it puts extra stress on ourselves that we don't need at this point because we still have all of our trainings and then the meets, so we try not to focus about it.
You've accomplished so much so far in just a short period of time. What would you say have been some of the biggest reasons for your success?
Well, you guys look at it at a short period of time, but it's 3 years, that's a long time, and if you look at the lifespan of a gymnast, it's not that long. So it's really not just a short period of time. I've been putting in work for 13 years of my life now, so it's not a short period of time. You guys just see those certain competitions that we go to, but I mean, I don't know.
What was it like at the beginning then? Getting out there for the first time and realizing this journey that you've been on. I mean, how crazy does it seem to you from where you started
Yes.
to where you are now?
It seems crazy to me that I just came in as a daycare field trip and now I'm here, but I guess it happens every 4 years with one kid. You have to start somewhere, so any one of these kids in like a mommy and me class, 5 of them out of this whole country will become Olympians one day, so the journey is long, and I'm pretty sure none of them thought that they could probably be Olympians one day until it happens, and you're just like, how did I get here?
Simone, what have your parents and your family meant to you through this process?
Yes, they've meant the world, and they've sacrificed so much for me to do what I love, and it's just amazing how excited they are every time I go out to competition, and I know they're so nervous, so it means a lot that they don't like run out of the arena and not watch it, that they stay there and watch. And I mean, they've always been there supporting me, so I can't thank them enough.
What about your coach, Aimee Boorman?
Yes, she's been with me for a long time. I know we knock heads a lot, and I know sometimes she might want to kill me, but I'm just happy that she's stayed with me this whole ride, and no one's ever given up on me, and it's just very good.
Simone, if you could talk to the people of Spring, Houston, Texas, just trying to encourage them to watch you and get behind this team, what would you want to say to this region?
Just go watch everyone will pretty much tune in for the Olympics. It's one of the most viewed Olympic sports, so that's very exciting, but I don't know what I would say directly to them besides thank you for all your love and support.
Simone, you talk about how you say you're just normal.
Yes.
But you're become a role model. You're on the cover of magazines.
Yes.
Did you ever sit back and kind of get a wow factor at some point? And this is really me. I'm doing all this stuff. We've done it for years now, but now look where you're at.
Sometimes I do look at it and I'm like, whoa, I'm like on the cover or a billboard. But then again, I'm not the one seeing them a lot. I know I do the photo shoots, but once it comes out, everyone sees it before me. So I'm just in training, and then they're like, oh, look, you're on the cover of this. I'm like, I don't even remember doing that shoot, but I know it was fun. So it's still weird because everyone wants to be famous one day, but then if it happens, you just deny it, because I still don't think I'm famous because I'm not.
Simone, what have you had to give up to pursue this training?
The biggest thing I've had to give up was public school for the 4 years of my high school, so I had to start homeschooling, and that's the biggest thing.
What do you feel you've missed from that? Any experiences you wish you had?
No, just every kid likes being social, like having lots of friends, going out, and then like the high school prom. So, but since I'm where I am now, I don't think I missed too much of it because they can't really say they're world champions or going to the Olympics. So I think it's okay that I missed prom.
Talk about having your own facility to train and your connection with Houston Methodist.
No, it's very exciting, but every time I walk into this gym, it's just like if I were to walk into any other gym, I never think think that it's my parents, or people don't know unless they ask. And I treat it the same as every other kid that walks in here, but for us to have our training room and to have the staff come in and work with us, it's really nice because not a lot of gyms get that at all, so it's good that they can keep us healthy.
And you have that long-going relationship with Dr. Ray and Dr. Hanson.
Yes.
Talk to me about their
Yes.
care and how they help you.
Yes. They've helped me along the way. Every time I come into his office, he's like, really, Simone, I asked you like last week and you said nothing was hurting, but you're here now, like what's your problem? But I'm just like, well, it wasn't hurting last week. So they helped me with my, get my bone spurs removed in my ankle 3 years ago. And then just anything that hurts, Coach Aimee sends me right over there and to help get it out the way.
For most Olympians, they say that it doesn't really hit them until they walk in the opening ceremonies. I know you haven't allowed yourself to kind of think of what if and all that, but have you allowed yourself to think of that once you were walking in there in the opening ceremony where in the U.S.?
Well, none of the gymnasts have ever got to walk in opening ceremonies because we compete the day after. So we just, I don't know what we'll do, probably just sit in the room and go to sleep.
So if you have an inspirational quote or something that you kind of guide yourself by, anything like that? Or a movie that you particularly like?
Not really. We don't have time to do a lot of things, but I mean, I have like quotes that I like, but none that stick out on the top of my head, but they're there.
Simone, what's it mean to you to be nominated as one of the best female athletes in the world from the ESPY the other night?
It's an honor, but I definitely don't think I should be in that category because they've all gone to the Olympics and done such amazing things, but it's definitely an honor to be recognized, but I don't think of myself as that. I don't know.
Simone, you mentioned fame, but also not feeling famous and social media, all that stuff,
Yes.
going out. How do you tune it out? I mean, you intentionally kind of stay in a bubble, like in terms of focusing on Rio, or how do you not give into that world?
I don't know. I think it happens internally for me because you can sit here and tell me how many followers I have and all this stuff, but I'll still deny that I'm not famous at all or even close, that no one knows who I am, because I think that's weird because if I put myself at that point, then people just start doing things differently. So for me, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't hit me, I guess. I just like don't care that much. I'm like, whatever.
Simone, even though you may not care about all these followers that you have,
Yes.
there are so many girls that are looking up to you and idolizing you. What are some of the words that you have, words of wisdom that you might have for them?
To just always have fun in what you do, because I know a lot of them at a very young age stress about what they want to do, but you can't control in the years to come. You just have to really live in the moment, so that's what I would say.
Simone, can you talk about the 5 girls on the team and the personalities and the chemistry and kind of the makeup of the team this year?
It's no different than if we were going to Worlds. I mean, we've known each other for forever now, so we're just like a family. We're like sisters. We're so close, and we're always there to push each other, to help each other, to pick each other up when we're down. So it's just the same. Nothing's really different, but our personalities all work together as if you put anyone on the team, everyone works really well together.
Did Marta have anything to say to you after trials, after you were named to the team?
No, she was kind of choked up a bit because she was just sad. It's always a sad moment picking the team, but she just said, we still have that 10-day camp, so be ready, and everyone's just like, we are.
If you weren't a gymnast, what would you be doing?
Oh my gosh. What do normal people do?
Oh, but you said you were normal.
I know I'm normal, but for an athlete, I'm just in the gym all the time. So what do like non-athletic people do? Like my sister. She watches Netflix all day. She has friends and she goes out. And then I would probably be in college or like a summer class right now. That's what I would be doing.
What's your favorite show on Netflix or TV?
Oh gosh, I'm the slowest watcher ever. But right now I'm watching One Tree Hill, but it takes me about a week to get through one episode.
Is there any music that you're listening to pump you up or get you calmed down or help you relax? Or
Just really like today's hot hits, nothing really specific.
not to make it too down or anything, but obviously the last week and a half, we've seen some strong social issues come up. The fact that you're going to represent Team USA and hopefully bring something that can be a positive to the country, does that kind of sit with you at all, knowing that what you guys are doing can really bring a smile to people's faces in what seems to be a tough time?
Yes, it's very exciting, and whenever kids like wave to us or anything, we try to favorite and like their tweets because we know that it just makes them so happy and gives them the world. So we just try really hard to keep everyone positive and to do the best we can, but we still try to focus on a lot of our work.
You always say so focused, but I don't know if you ever take a moment to stop and sort of look back on what you've done and whether you enjoy the memory of what you've done and take pleasure in that.
Well, yes, I think none of us would be at this point in our careers if we didn't enjoy and love what we do. Even whenever there are tears involved, we can still look back at it and everything that we've accomplished, we can really say we truly love the sport, and that's why we do it, really.
What do you love about it?
I love everything. We love going to compete. We love representing the USA because it's such a big honor and not a lot of kids get to do that or have the opportunities to do that. So we're just very grateful and thankful. But I don't know, I think we love the adrenaline that we get once we do our routines because it's always exciting to show what we've been working on in the gym. And I think that's what we love.
How do you envision Rio?
I don't know, kind of like Olympic trials, just a whole lot bigger. And I mean, there's not much time to think because everything happens so fast. But it's just another competition except for the name changes.
You often keep saying we, in a sport where a lot of people think of individuals, you really seem to focus on the team aspect of it. Why is that?
Because I think that's the most important part, and without a team, that's what makes us the USA Gymnastics team is everyone individually put together, and I think that this year, the team that we have, we're stronger as a team than individually, so I think that's very special that we all share, and without each other, we wouldn't be as good as we are, and we wouldn't be able to represent as a team, and I think that's what we love because we always have someone to lean on if we're ever down or to help each other, so I think we don't get here alone, it is a team effort, so. And that's my favorite part of competition is the team one.
So in the week or two that you guys will all be training at the ranch, do you know specifically what you'll be working on?
Routines. That's it, routines all week until we leave, and then more routines, and then we'll complete routines, and then we'll stop.
¿Hablas español?
No, my mom does. Blame her, she knows it, but she never taught any of us as a kid.
Favorite pizza place?
Sorry, what?
You mentioned pizza earlier. Favorite pizza place?
I don't really have a pizza place, but not really a favorite one, but I like Pizza Hut, or in Chicago, there's like Giordano's Pizza, like the deep dish. And he's like, it'll kill you. Yes.
So you talked a little bit about like celebrities tweeting you and stuff. What was it like when Zac Efron tweeted you?
I thought I was going to pass out. I literally thought I was going to die. And after the tweet happened, it was before we competed. We competed the next day, and I was like, you know what? I think my life's complete. Someone can book my ticket home. But obviously I was joking. But I was like, I feel good.
We always sometimes make fun of the way that Marta always stresses consistency being the most important thing. But your consistency probably has been something of a marvel, the fact that you've been able to stay at a certain level and make improvements. Is it again just the ability to focus on each day and not have expectations, but not feel that not take anything for granted?
Yes, I think so, and I think it's important because I know whenever I start thinking ahead, I stress myself out, then I can't think of what happens in the moment and control it. So whenever I control it in the moment, just everything seems to flow easier, and I know everyone's different, so they have different ways of processing and doing things, but for me, I found that's what works best.
Was that a hard lesson to learn? I think some people are still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn that lesson.
Well, it's hard to not look forward ahead because you have like schedules and stuff that you get excited for, but I think it took a little bit of time to learn because I would just stress myself out so much. Like 3 weeks before a competition, I would have mental breakdowns, and I'm like, I'm not ready. And Coach Amy's like, well, you have 3 weeks. Why do you keep saying that? I'm like, I just feel like I won't, because I would think so far ahead, and it wouldn't help my training. So I had to stop doing that.
So you're very much next day, next day,
Yes.
and the next day will take care of itself.
Yes.
Simone, you were just talking about mental breaks. How are some other ways that you've been able to get over that stress? And
Well, I think by all of us girls, we like to watch TV if we ever have time, or just like we have a therapy room that we'll go and get massages and just really relax, because that's what helps us all. Even though we're just in the gym so much, it's hard not to think about it. So we just try our best to not.
We met your sports psychologist when he was here at the last time, when you did grand opening. How much has he helped you?
He's helped me a great amount with my mentality and being prepared for every competition that I go into. Or even if in the gym I have like a mental block or anything, I can go see him. And so he just helps calm me down, and really, he's the one that helps me not think so far ahead and breaks it down. And I think sometimes we have a hard time of breaking it down ourselves and processing it. So I think that's how he helps me.
What's one or two things that he's told you that you can latch on to it and really helps you do all the things you're talking about?
Well, I think that's something for me to keep private because it's what helps me, so I'd rather keep it like to myself.
Trade secrets.
Yes.
Have you come up with a team name yet?
We have, but we're waiting to announce it, so you guys can keep waiting.
When will you announce the team name?
We haven't decided. Aly says once we get to Rio, but we'll see.
Who came up with it?
Kind of like all of us, but then I think the media might have guessed it already, so, but we're still keeping it a secret.
Okay, so it might be an acronym of some kind, possibly.
Maybe. But I can't tell you guys.
Are you bringing anything with you for good luck, comfort, or memories?
Oh gosh, we don't have time. We don't have any space in our suitcase for that. We'll just bring faith, because you can take that anywhere, and confidence.
Are you superstitious?
No, not at all. Because it's hard when you travel the world to be superstitious. And I don't like to have head problems, so I'm just like, no, can't do that. Gotta throw it out.
Are you still waiting to hear from Mercedes again?
What?
Are you still waiting to hear from Mercedes again?
Yes, but they followed me on Twitter, so I think we're moving pretty fast.
How much will you, every competition is different, but how much will you pick the brains of Aly and Gabby to going in to kind of get an idea of what this atmosphere is going to be like? Like you said, just like any other competition, but it's obviously on the world stage.
Yes, none at all. We try not to think about it because it scares us all a little bit, but if we're ever having a hard time, or we can just go ask Aly or Gabby, but they're never the ones to bring it up and like, oh, this is this, but if she sees it in your face, she's like, just calm down. Yes, this arena's big, but we've done it so many times, and it's just little things like that. Or before we go out, she'll just tell us to really embrace the moment, but it's nothing that they try to like pick us apart and tell us everything, because you kind of want to find out for yourselves, like during trainings and everything, but we just try not to think about it.
I thought it was interesting you said in San Jose that you tell some of the other competitors that the crowd's there to see you, the crowd's on your side. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, I think so, because I think whenever we make a mistake, we get really upset at ourselves, and some of us think that we failed people or the crowd, but honestly, you just have to remember that they're here to see you do what you love. So I think that's what we forget at times.
All right, Simone. Y'all, I have to take her real quick, but I thank you all for your time. Any closing remarks that you want to make, go for it. We're at now.
Thank you guys for coming. I'm not sure how this thing works. It's practice.
That'll work. Thank you. Okay. Thank you all very much.